So here we will look what is instance variable and when we can take instance variable. So if the value of a variable is varied from object to object, such type of variables are called instance variable. That is, so suppose we want to create a record of a student. We want to create a record of a student, and the student, in the student record there are few rows. One is the name, second is the roll number, and suppose the third column is the name of a college name. Suppose we want to create, this is a student. So if we want to create a object of this student, suppose we created two objects, S1 and S2 of type student. So what is mean by an instance variable? An instance variable means the value of the variable varies from object to object. So we can see that if we create an object, suppose there is a student S1 Ram and there is another student SH, it's Shyam. So the name of the Ram will be same as Ram in student 1, and in student 2 the name will be as Shyam. And the roll numbers will be different. Let's suppose the roll number is 101 and it's 102, and suppose the college name is XYZ and they belongs to the same college, that is XYZ. So the name and the roll number, we can see it varies from object to object, but the name of the college is same. So these we can declare the name and the roll number as instance variable. We can declare the name and the roll number as instance variable as it varies from object to object. Suppose we also created a third object, so the name of the student will be different, roll number will be different, but the college name will be same as they all belongs to the same college, that is X, Y, and Z college. So the college name will be same. So here the name and the roll number behaves as an instance variable as it varies from object to object. So what we conclude that an instance variable, if the value of the variable is varied from object to object, then such type of variable are called instance variable. So for instance variable, so what is instance variable? We came to know about the instance variable. So from here we can see that a separate copy of instance variable is created for each object. We have created two objects, S1 and S2. Variable is created. Neither the roll number is same or the name is same. So a separate copy of instance variable will be created. What is the third point? For every instance variable, a separate, for every object, a separate copy of instance variable is created. Okay, so we know for every object a separate copy. So we know that for every instance object a separate copy for every object a separate copy of instance variable is created. So now we should know where we can declare the instance variable. So we can declare this instance variable within the class directly, or and we have to declare the instance variable within the class directly and outside of any method or block or constructor. So suppose here we declare a class test. So the boundary of this class is from here to here. So now if suppose we have a method void m1, so where the instance variable can be declared. So the instance variable can be declared directly within the class, but outside of any method or block or constructor. So outside of this method we can declare the instance variable over here. So this is the area for declaration of instance variable. So this is the area for declaration of instance variable. So now we can take an example regarding to this. So suppose we have a class test int a, and suppose there is a method void m1. So this is instance variable. So now as we know that for each object a separate copy of instance variable is created. So from here we can conclude that conclude when the instance variable is created. So if we create an object of the class, then the instance variable is created. So from here we can conclude that the scope of the instance variable is that when the object of that class is created, instance variable is created at that time, and the instance variable is destroyed at the time of object destruction. So when instance variable is created, at the time of object creation, and when instance variable is destroyed, it is destroyed at the time of object destruction, at the time of object destruction. So from here we can conclude from both the above two cases, we can conclude that the scope of instance variable is same as that of an object. So the scope of the instance variable is same as that of an object. So now we should know where the instance variable is created. The instance variable is created, or rather we should say stored, in the heap area. So the instance variable is stored in the heap area as a part of the object. So now we know what is an instance variable, and we know how to declare it, and we know what is the scope of an instance variable. So now we should know how can we access the instance variable. So we can't access the instance variable directly from the static area as it is inside the class, so we have to access it after creating the object of the class. So as we all know that instance variable is created at the time of object creation. So if we want to access the instance variable, so we have to access it by using the object reference. But from the instance area we can directly access the instance variable. So we can see like what is the next point. We can't access the instance variable directly from the static area, but we can access it directly from the instance area. So what does this mean? So suppose let's take an example here. Class test, we created a class named test and we have an instance variable int x, and we have, if we want to use this variable we can directly, if we want to use this variable we can directly use it over here. Suppose we also create a method void m1, and inside this method I am trying to use the instance variable. So this will give us an compile time error. So as this is an instance variable, so we can directly use this instance variable in this instance area. This is the instance area, and we can directly use this instance variable in this instance area, but inside any block, static block or constructor or something method, we can't use it directly. Instead of this will give us a compile time error. So instead of directly using it, if we create a object of this class test, t equal to new test, if we create an object of this class which is t, and now if we try to access t dot x, then this is perfectly valid. So it's written we can't access the instance variable directly from the static area, but we can access it directly from the instance area. So if we want to access the instance variable from the static area, then we have to take the reference of the object in which instance variable is present. So if we want to access the instance variable, we have to take the reference of the object in which the instance variable is created. And the second last point we can conclude from here is the values of the instance variable. The JVM will provide the default values to the instance variable. The JVM will always provide the default values, and we don't require to perform initialization explicitly. So here in case of instance variable, the JVM, the Java Virtual Machine, will provide the default values to the to the instance variable, and we don't have to perform initialization explicitly. So let's take an example. Suppose we create a class test, and in class test we have created int x, taken two instance variable, int x and double d, and public static void main string array args, and we are creating the object of this class so that we can access this instance variable. So the test t equal to new test, and now with the help of this variable I can use this with the help of the reference of this object I can use this instance variable. It's system dot out dot println. I have written in here in short, it's SOPLN. It's system dot out dot println, and we are supposed like t dot d. So after when we compile this whole code, java c test dot java, and if we compile this, after it will compile successfully, and when we run this Java code we will get the output as 0 and 0.0. So these are the default values. So these are the default values. So we have created a class test and we have taken two variables, instance variable. These are the instance variable. And we have created a method. In that method we have created a test t, which is the object of this test class, and with the help of this object reference I am trying to access the instance variable int x and double d. So here we have just system.out.println t.x and t.d. If we compile this Java code, it will compile successfully, and after running this Java code, it will give us the output as 0 and 0.0. So 0 is the default value for int and 0.0 is the default value for double. So the JVM will provide the default values and we don't have to initialize it. And the last and the most important point is that the instance variable are also known as object level variables. Instance variables also known as object level variables or attributes. So these are all the points regarding the instance variable. We will summarize at the end. So now we will look into static variable. So now we will look into static variable. So there are a few points regarding the static variable. The static variable, when should we create this? So if the value of the variable is not changing from object to object, then we can create static variable. So like in the previous example, as we have seen here, that the value of the name and roll number were changing from object to object, but the college name was not changing for every student. So the college name can be a static variable. So here we can take the example again, like we have created a student object, and here we have created name, role. These are the attributes of that object, or and college name. So in that object, so these two are the instance variable. As their value changes, and the college name acts as an static variable, as the value is same for every object. So now we know that if the value does not change for every object, so we can make that variable as static variable. So what we know that if the value of a variable is not varied from object to object, then it is not recommended to declare variable as instance variable. We have to declare such type of variable at class level using static modifier. So now we know when to create a static variable. So as we know that for instance variable, a separate copy of every a separate copy is created for every object. But in case of static variable, a single copy is created and is shared by every object. So in case of static variable, a single copy is created and it is shared by every object. And now where we can declare this static variable, we can declare this static variable within the class, but outside of any method, block or constructor. So we can declare this with the same, but we have to keep in mind that we have to use the static keyword before the variable declaration. Example, if we take a static int x, so this is a static variable. So we should know now we should know when the static variable is created. In case of instance object, we know that when the object is created, at that time the instance variable is created, and when the object is destroyed, at that time the instance variable is destroyed. But in case of static variable, as we all know that for static variable a single copy is created and it is shared by every object. So suppose, let's take an example. Suppose we have a class of student, and we create S1, S2 and S3, three objects of this class student. We have created three objects of this class student. So now, so there are three objects of this class student. So in each object, in S1, S2 and S3, name and role will be present, as these are name and role will be present as a separate copy, as these are instance variable. But as in case of college name, a single copy is created and which is shared by every object. So now we should know what is the scope of this static variable. So if we tell that the scope of this static variable is when an object is created and the static variable is destroyed when the object is destroyed. So suppose we are working on student S1, and when the object S1 is created, then the static variable is created, and when the S1 destroys, the static variable also destroys. But if this happens, then the next object reference, which is S2 and S3, won't be able to use this static variable, as the static variable is already destroyed. So the static variable, the scope is that the static variables are created at the time of the class, at the time of the class loading, when the class loads. So when the we have a class test, and in suppose when the class loads, the static variable is created, and when the unlike before unloading of the class, the static variable is destroyed. So what is the scope of this static variable? When it is created, when the static variable is created at class loading, and when it is destroyed at the time of class unloading. So when the static variable is created at the time of class loading and destroyed at the time of class unloading. Where the static variables are stored? The static variables are stored in the method area. In case of instance variable, the instance variable are stored in the heap area. The static variables are stored in the method area. So how now the point comes, how we can use this static variable. So we can use this static variable with the help of object reference also, and with the help of class reference also. Can be used or it can be accessed. It can be accessed using object reference also, or class reference also. So if we can if we want to use it using an object reference or a class reference, we can use it. So let's take an example to see. Suppose we have created a class test. In the class test, we take a static variable, static int x equal to 10, public static void main string args, and now we create a object for this test class, test equal to new test. So if we are trying to access it, so we have, this is the object reference of the test class. So if we are trying to use it using the object reference, as I mentioned here, with the help of the object reference, so we can use it, so the output will be 10. If we are trying to use it using the class reference, the test.x, then also it is valid. And if we want to use it directly, so this is also valid. So all are valid here. So these are all the method how we can access the instance variable. So this is also one of the point that we can access the static variables directly from both instance and static area. So here I should add here, or we can access directly from take an instance area. So for this is the third one is the example for this point. So this is the first, second, third. First, second, third. So with the help of object reference, we have referenced over here, and with the help of this static class reference, we have called over test.x, and with directly we have called like system.output println it's x. And for the static variables, the JVM will provide the default values. JVM will provide the default values, same as in case of instance variable. And the last and the point is, static variables are also known as class level variables of fields. Also known as class level variables or fields. So these are all about the static variable. Now we will look into the local variable. So now we will look about local variable. So why local variable is used? So like if the like local variable is for programmers a temporary requirement. So if we want temporary requirement of a variable, we can declare a local variable. So local variables like are used for programmers temporary requirement. These are also referred to as temporary variables or static variables, stack variables or automatic variables. So where are these local variables stored? These are stored in stack memory. So this is why it is also called as stack variable. So now we should know like when the stack local variable is created. So local variable will be created while executing the block in which we declare it. So the local variable will be created when the block in which we have created is executed. Once the block execution gets completed, automatically the local variable will be destroyed. So hence the scope of the local variable is of that of the block. So what we conclude from there? Local variable will be created while executing the block in which declare it. Once the block execution completes, automatically local variable will be destroyed. Hence the scope is same at that of block in which it is declared. So the scope is same as that of the block in which it is declared. And the most important point is JVM won't provide default values to local variable. We have to explicitly provide the value. If we don't provide, then we will get compile time error saying variable, suppose x, might not have been initialized. So if we create a, suppose we take an example, class test public static void main string args, and suppose we create a local variable int x, and then we are taking the system.out.println int x. So here we have not initialized the local variable, so we will get a compile time error here stating that variable x might not have been initialized. So the compile time error will be variable x might not have been initialized. So, and the most important point is the only modifier final is the only modifier which is applicable to local variable. So suppose if we define some other added modifier, then we will get a compile time error. So the only applicable modifier is the final. So local variable. So let's take an example which will make clear for us everything. Suppose we take this example. So here we have created a class test, and here these two, int x and int y, are instance variable, and this is a static variable. So this is the question. So you all can provide the answers for this question. So like you can pause the video for 2 minutes and you can provide the answers. So let me discuss the answer. You can just compare it afterward. So we have taken two, suppose, so we have created an object of this test class, two objects, t1 and t2. At the time when we create the object, the instance variable will be automatically present there in the object, and the instance variable will be initialized to its default values by the JVM. So the default values for the default values for the int is 0, so it has been initialized, and when we create an object, that time also the static variable, a single copy of that static variable is created, and that will also be initialized to its initial value, to the default values of the int. So after this t1 execution of this statement, t1.y equal to 200, it's t1.y, it will be changed to 200, and this t1.z equal to 100. So this is the object reference. After changing this, it will be changed, so both t1 and t2 can access this shared variable, so it will be changed to 100. So now when we will print the output for this, so what will we get? T1.x is 0, T1.y is 200, T1's dot z we have changed the value to 100. So this is for the in case of the first object. So now in case of the second objects, it T2.x. So T2.x remains to be 0, and T2.y it remains to be 0, and T2.z its value has been changed to 100, and it's as it is a shared variable, like every object can it is a static variable, so a single copy is created and is shared by every object. So if any change is made there by any object, so it will reflect to other object also. So we have changed the value of z to 100 from 0 to 100, so the changed value is reflected over here. But in case of this instance variable, if we change the value of y, the instance variable for the second object, the value has not been changed. So this is the major difference between the static and the instance variable. So this was all about the variables, the instance variable, static variable, and local variable.